all that stuff. So let's talk about the maps first. Lagoon first pick from Maxi. Interesting. Liking to mix it up. BZ picking Savannah. That kind of checks out. I'm not too surprised. I feel like a lot of people who are TDM regulars are going to pick Savannah first. Golden Swamp being banned. I'm fine with that. No Vikings being played, though, I'm assuming. Random ban, hyper random. That's unfortunate. I haven't seen enough hyper random, unfortunately. I feel like there's just not enough people picking hyper random. I think people are just too committed to actually playing good maps and not willing to pick hyper random. We have Sertao. Yeah, this checks out. Pretty much, like, I'd be more okay with these maps if it was that you can only pick one of Savannah or Sertao. The fact that you can pick both of them just makes so many matches so boring. Like, I'd rather watch a Lagoon battle. I never want to play Lagoon, but I'd rather watch it instead of both Savannah and Sertao. I think Sertao is not different enough from Savannah as I was hoping. So maybe at higher levels it's a different story. Accuray will be fun. We have Watershed being banned, which I think is probably going to be the least liked map in this map pool, from what I've been hearing. And Golden Lakes being banned, which I'm never a big fan of Golden Lakes. So the admin goes for Fez. We have a pretty decent map pool. I mean, Savannah, Sertao is whatever. Lagoon and Accuray and Fez are fun to watch. BZ random banning hyper random. I mean, if you're going to ban hyper random, randoming into it, I can't be too upset about that. You live and die by the randomness, right? Like, I'm fine with if hyper random is going to be banned, if it's by a random ban, I'm okay with it. It's upsetting, but I'm not upset, right? Mexico and Lagoon. Griffin really changed someone. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. So, we have a water map. We have maybe a second water map. And we have 2 land maps and a long map, right? So we'll see how this ends up playing out in the admin in the draft. I'm just banning through these really quickly. We have some power civs here. We have the Japanese, we have the Celts, Berbers, no Maya, Cumans, no Rush, Tatars, not Poles, Saracens, and Jurchens. Those are some pretty solid civs being banned. So, and I mean, with Watershed, I mean, none of these are really Watershed maps, or Civ, or not Watershed, Lagoon. I mean, like, you could argue maybe Byzantines, but Mojito just became admin to ban Maya every set. Look, only I... What's up, gamer? Yeah, only I am allowed to play the Mayans. So, we'll see how the picks go, the bans go. Wait, hold on. First ban Way. Maxi, what are you doing, my friend? I assume this next one's going to be like the shoe or something. Is going to be a I don't want to ban anything. Koreans. And then that one makes sense. Tiger Half beats Archers. Oh. Is that the whole play? Alright. Magyar's being banned makes sense. I guess Maxi's reputation precedes him. It's going to be 4 Cav Archer bans. And Sicilians, I guess. I mean, Towers is annoying to deal with. Chinese on Lagoon makes a lot of sense. Chinese and Koreans on Lagoon is a pain to deal with for sure. Tiger Cav, best water unit. Tigers can swim. They have some big, meaty paws, and they can swim pretty fast. Britain's being banned. No other Cav Archers being banned. Romans being banned. Are Romans even good in Deathmatch anymore? I know they're decent in TDM, but like, or in Deathmatch Nations Cup, but I feel like they're just. Every time I see them, I feel like they're not. They're okay, yeah. On water, they might be fine, but like, Scorpions crush Cav Archers. That's true. That is true. That is a counter pick for Maxi and Mongols. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, only one targeted ban for maxymczech, the CA Master. So here's the blind picks. Let's take a look real quick what we have left. Actually, hold on. Can we... So the last one is going to be, what did we say? It was Mongols. So we can't do Mongols. What do we think the blind picks are going to be? Slavs are there, Spanish, Vikings are available, Huns. We could see Huns, we could see Georgians, Dravidians, Bengalis, Tupi and Inca blind pick. That would be crazy. That would be a I'm so far above you. Persians are there. Vietnamese. I mean, actually, a lot of the really good civs ended up getting banned. Like, there's some good hybrid civs here and there. Akre is an option for Ethiopians. He has Vietnamese. Huns is in the pool. Yeah. This is actually a surprisingly rough map. I mean, Lithuanians are there. They have decent cav archers. This is actually a surprisingly weak pool considering everything that got banned. I feel like some really important civs got banned out of the admin bans. So let's get underway and see what they do. Spanish Ethiopians by Maxi and Teutons Slavs. We have opposite ends. We have some aggression siege, and then we have the slow plotting halb siege. I mean, there's a lot of siege going on here. Maxi tryharding? Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, he does get first pick, so he can pick Vietnamese here. There you go. He essentially gets 3 picks without any response, right? But he is going to get sniped. Bengali's getting picked. That makes sense. And the Gujaras. I mean, BZ has a really powerful combination here. Malians. And now the snipes. What do we think about the snipes? I'm guessing Vietnamese get sniped. Or the Spanish get sniped. And then Slavs get sniped. Any guesses? Spanish? Spanish and Slavs? Yikes, BZ. That's a choice. Maybe that's a misclick? That's crazy. Alright. We'll have to see how this plays out. Georgians. Oh, Maxi. This draft is insane. And Persians, like I said, like, oh, maybe there's not that many powerful civs left. And I was so wrong. All of these civs, like, Ethiopians is the weakest civ here, right? And even then they have the niche on Akare. Lithuanians randomed BZ, you madman. Hindustanis, Burgundians, and the Malay. Akare is drafted, yeah. Akare Lagoon. Lucky in shambles. This is such a wild draft. I mean, I like both of these drafts, honestly. I don't like the Malian snipe. We have Spanish for... so we do have one water map in Lagoon. No Luchuan civs for either player, which makes sense, because like outside of Jurchens and Koreans and Chinese, you don't really want to be playing Luchuans, because the civs are kind of weak. And Chinese. Those are the 4, like... Or I may have said 3, whatever. So Spanish probably saved for that. You could do Vietnamese and just go elephants. Bengali's probably on water then, or Malay. 4 civs for BZ beat Vet. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Maybe 3, depends on map. Well, the first map is going to be Fez. So what are our predictions? For Fez, we have some long play. I'm going to guess Vietnamese. Or Burgundians could go slow. Georgians, maybe. I'm going to go Vietnamese for the elephants on Fez. And then Teutons. Vietnamese Teutons is going to be my guess. Or Persians. Persian. Do you have another map that's good for Teutons? Not really. You can go Akre for ETKs, I guess. If BZ drafted Dravidians and Huns instead of the last 2 is a perfect draft. Persians, Hindu? Alright. I can see Persians, Hindu. I think I'm going to go Teutons, Vietnamese. I think I'm going to go with that. So, it's somehow Hindu Sanis on Fez as always. Yeah. Alright, well, let's get underway. Lucky, and I don't know if Lunatic's still here, but Lucky, I'm also going to just mod you real quick so that you can satisfy Otter's need for Lunatic as well, but I know Lucky's a little bit more present in the AoE 2 streams. No abusing the power, but won't be here long. Yes, but somebody needs to do predictions, so somebody needs to carry on Otter's spirit. So I'll get started so Otter can at least watch some of the game. So let's get underway. Except there's no way. Let me just drink some water real quick. Clear the throat. And should I do that? Welcome to a new set. We have BZ playing against maxymczech. Maxi going with the Hindustanis, and it is the Teutons. I promise I did not pay attention to it. We have quite the opening set of civs. This is Division 9. maxymczech, the Hot Dog Master versus b3z. Teutons starting with some barracks, and we have the camel start for maxymczech into the archery ranges. So Hindustanis, of course, do not get Parthian tactics, but they should get, I think they get cav archers, right? They don't get elephant archers, yeah, so they should get cav archers. So we'll see some cav archers for sure, I'm sure. Indians once had a swordfish bonus back in the day. So both players taking a very slow start to it, only sending their scout forward, and halberdiers take care of it pretty quickly. And halberdiers going to be very strong against the camels of the Hindustanis. Of course, you know, we're going to have to see what Maxi adds into that, but Imperial Camels will be solid if the Paladins from the Teutons do make an appearance. We do see some Paladins queued up from b3z. Now we have the castles coming up, Siege Workshops as well, Siege Angers coming out. b3z looking like a very solid start, and that is a lot of docks from Maxi. So we're going to be seeing some cannon galleons coming down the shorelines. That is a lot of dock committal. Maybe fish boom, maybe something like that. Now we see the gunpowder being mixed in to deal with those. So it's going to be gunpowder from the ranges, which makes sense because the Hindustanis do have good gunpowder. And those are going to be mixed in to deal with the halberdiers. Right now, some villagers are exposed. Halberdiers going for maybe to try to pick off any villagers who try to go to the gold side. And the start from both players a little bit similar, slow. This is going to be a rough fight if either of them takes it. It's going to rely on the Siege Anger landing. A nice shot does land, a decent shot, only kills a couple of gunpowder. And the camels are going to be able to snipe the Siege Anger and run away from the halberdiers, only losing a few of them. No, just take out the Siege Anger, the extra melee for that Siege Anger. Proving vital there, does snipe it, going to lose a few more, maybe another camel or two. And now some camels do sneak into the base, are going to find a villager exposed here. Gets one kill here, maybe another villager snipe, could be possible. Some paladins do get sniped as well. And now the halberdiers do get chewed up by all the camels and the gunpowder. Halberdiers continue to patrol on the side. We do have docks out, and we do have galleons, so Maxi committed to going water. We actually have b3z matching with docks. What's the civ bonus on Hindustani cannon galleons without looking? Well, I did see, I don't know about cannon galleons, but I did see gunpowder gets +1/+1 when I looked. So gunpowder units +1/+1, right? And they don't have any actual bonuses. I was trying to remember what the Hindustani's gunpowder bonus was. Correct. So, is it +1/+1? Yeah, it's +1/+1. And the galleons are here, and they're going to snipe some maybe deny some villagers from some castles. That is a nice find. Going to be able to pick off a villager here. b3z a little bit focused in the middle. b3z pushing pretty hard with those paladins. Or those halberdiers and the siege. The siege does get sniped by the ghulams. And with enough gunpowder here from Maxi, you should be able to deal with these halberdiers, and the camels can go in afterwards. But the siege micro from b3z is going to be what matters here. We have a little bit of early wood chopping. Then you looked. Oh no, that's fair. I looked before just to check. Because I knew they had a bonus, but I couldn't remember what it was. So I checked for the actual gunpowder. So I was like, yeah, Hindustanis are gunpowder civ. Good engagement. The gunpowder doing just enough, and there's enough camels here to deal with all the halberdiers. And these camels are going to take out a bunch. Another round of halberdiers here. And ETKs in support as well. A lot of siege mixed into this as well. Camels should go, or the castle should go up. And instead, now Maxi is going to be on the back foot as b3z pushes forward. A little bit of pop cap. Needs to get this castle up. Maxi's pop looking a little bit better. Still has some patrols on this side with some paladins. So the gold access is going to be limited for Maxi. In the meantime, the gunpowder continued to take a bunch of shots onto the infantry. The camel's going to run past and try to find some exposed siege. There is a lot of halberdiers here, but there's a lot of siege here. And siege is not microed and not landing at the feet. But they're going to stop and attack the ETKs. So they are going to be able to maybe get a shot here. The halberdiers do get into position to protect, and the scorpions are going to fire on them. Siege Angers not even being played. Don't even want to kill your own units. So that attack is unfortunately turned away. Maxi not finding the damage he needs to. And there is so much water commitment. We didn't talk enough about this. Paladins going over here to try to clean up some of these galleys. This is a massive water commitment by Maxi. I've never seen this much water on Fez. I don't know if this was a mistake and queued up too many. And only now is adding the elite cannon galleons. But this is... There's going to be no stone access at all for b3z. But b3z has full access to gold. Yeah, this is crazy. Do we have... It's 60 galleons. Congratulations, Maxi. You on water. I don't think anyone's going to contest you on water. However, you got a little bit of a problem on land. Max should have drafted a water sieve. I mean, any sieve can be a water sieve if you make 60 galleons when your opponent isn't on water. I mean, we do see a dock, and they are trying to queue up a few demos to try to get them out, but I think there's too many galleons, and they're going to snipe the demos out pretty quickly. Unfortunately, demos are solid. They're going to at least take one down with them, but with their changes, a single demo is not enough. And now we have the bombard cannons being brought into the gameplay. A lot of shots being rained down, losing a lot of siege. But the Paladins are going to try to flank here, and there's not a lot of camels here to protect against the Paladins. The Paladins coming in clutch here without the camels here to protect us. The Halberdiers are going to be able to take out the Hussars. The Paladins are going to be able to land onto the exposed bomber cannons and gunpowder. But b3z a little bit indecisive with his attacks, because the Paladins don't get onto the mass of bomber cannons. And those bomber cannons are just asking to be hit by a single Andra shot. b3z not taking the chance. He's going to take out the bomber cannon. So find some damage here. The Paladins didn't really get what they wanted to accomplish. And now the gunpowder coming forward for Maxi. Going to land a lot of damage onto these trebs. Might even take them all out. b3z not pulling them back. Focused entirely on expanding on the left side. And we have scout calves being added. Teuton scouts in Deathmatch. Anything to deal with these gunpowder units. Run in and try to snipe some bomber cannons. I mean, with enough of them, they might work out. They might get one kill here. They get a second. Those scout cav did their job. Still full water control. Just insane. I mean, Maxi's pretty much playing with 30 pop right now because 60 of it is tied up in water. Trying to expand to the side, except they are going to find a Paladin wisely waiting. That is a lot of villagers going on their own. Oh, this is going to be a massacre. b3z pushing in the middle and is going to just get... There are 33 villagers. I mean, with only one Paladin, this might actually be... This castle might go up. If those Paladins were over there, it would be game. This castle should go up with only one Paladin taking out the villagers, but this is such a massive loss. Castle does go up. Anything can be done when you commit enough to it. Paladins are going to get some more kills, and now this is going to be a massacre. Oh no. Now there's a lot of Paladins here. Oh no. Oh no, Maxi. Oh no. Yikes. So many deaths. And the Paladin's gonna run forward and probably die to this castle. So now we have a little bit of a lull in the game. Water fully controlled by Maxi, whatever that benefit that brings. Gold pretty much fully controlled by b3z. Though this castle is doing a nice job, but all the siege is rotating around and b3z's going to push here, and there's only a handful of camels in defense. Yeah, this is looking real rough for Maxi. Going to be knocked off gold shortly. As long as the siege hunters don't get too aggressive and kill their own units. This should be pretty quickly. And b3z, of course, being smart about not sending only one or two trebs. Sending a bunch of trebs, even with the downhill damage reduction, is going to take out this castle very, very fast before any response can be mounted. And now we have some camel raids on this south side. Camel's getting some nice kills on b3z. But it gets cleaned up pretty quickly. We do have some monasteries going up. Maybe try to get some conversions. Maybe try to get some relics. But you have a side monastery. So Otter, if he's still awake, say your piece. Yell at Maxi. Give him your opinion on side monasteries. Granted, this is probably the safest side monastery in the history of TDM. Because of how much water is in front of it. So, you know. Honestly, for once, it might be the right play. I was going to say no, but it is a very well protected monastery for once. And yeah, the gold is safer than it would be in the main base. That is 100% true for once. Maxi once again is pop capped, but again, 60 of it is on the water doing nothing. So he's going to struggle anytime b3z comes forward. b3z kind of playing it slow, building up his eco, building up his military. Just kind of spreading out, making sure to establish all the gold claims on the side. 66, yeah. No. Nope. If Otto's awake, I mean, I'm not going to tell him to, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got timed out for that. I'm not allowed to do anything Lemon King related because I made a 6-7 joke. I think it's funny. Mostly because it's not funny. It's funny because it's not funny. That's the best part. It's just one of those it's just one of those pointless memes that I love. Like, there's a lot of those from back in the day for being a millennial, so. b3z gonna try to treb down a castle with a single treb. I just gave him compliments about his treb push on the left side, but one is exposed here and gets cleaned up by the camels. Yeah, b3z's army not really into a single ball like you want to with Tunes, but now he's pushing on this side, not protecting his trebs though. The gunpowder is going to be able to do pretty well about sniping these trebs. Had to mute while I sneezed. And now the paladins come in and chase them away, loses a treb, loses some HP on them, and they're going to micro back, and some gunpowder shenanigans will take out some paladins. But this force can come forward, and these Andros could land a really meaty shot. The paladins are out of position, the trebs are going to get taken out. Andros do land some shots, going to take out a lot of the camels. Camels are not attacking the siege onagers. Just a few halberdiers here protect, and the paladins are going to be able to get onto the gunpowder and chase them away, but all but one treb goes down. There's two back in reserves. But not the best positioning from b3z, and Max is able to at least clean up most of the forces. Takes on another treb, needs to send the hussars forward to snipe these, a nice little split micro, and all the siege should get cleaned up. Halberdiers a little bit late to the party, and loses all sorts of siege. That is going to be very expensive to replace. So b3z does have all the gold access in the world. But Maxy's still struggling to put forth an army. All the old mods are in bed. Don't worry, you're hip with the youth. Yeah. The game Discord did not approve my joke. Hey, I want to be fair. For TDM 7, or TDM 6, I made sure that we, the number of recs that were uploaded to YouTube did not get, it was 68. Perfectly in between the two funny numbers. b3z now the one with not a lot of military. Maxy is up to 117. Granted, a lot of that is on the water, but a nice force here. A lot of forces of b3z are kind of elsewhere. Not sure where they are, but this fight is going to go very poorly. A lot of siege is kind of clustered up here. Camels spreading out to take out more and more siege. I mean, one or two... The ETKs are on stand ground. Oh, no. Camel's going to come in here and finish off all the siege. Those ETKs just idling by. Just talking, not doing any jobs. And this should get cleaned up. I mean, b3z's surviving a little bit, even with all of that difficulty. I mean, now the gunpowder is here, and they're going to clean this up and kill the ETKs. Maybe Trebs should go down. Hussars being added. And yeah, Maxy just needs the military space. We have a random paladin going in for the raid on the monastery, but the gunpowder somehow made it past all the ships. So it is going to be a question of how does Maxy win when he doesn't have access to gold. He does have 6 relics, so that is going to be a nice trickle, but that's more useful for the late game. Usually in bed at 9:20 a.m. That's fair. b3z doesn't have access to wood. He has access to all this wood. He has access to this wood. He has access to all the wood in the middle, which he's taking. He should be fine. He just can't... I mean, yeah, like, contesting the water is going to be a challenge. But what he needs to do is he just needs to push in on this top side. And, like, he loses all the farm space. He loses everything. And then, as long as you keep this castle and stuff that is unrangeable by the water, Maxy has nowhere to go. Paladin's going in for a huge raid here. Some ships are here to protect, but there's no castle. There's one castle in defense. Villagers do get sent to the TCs, but that's going to be a nice little raid from b3z, killing a bunch of villagers, causing some problems. And now here's that push on the top side. The problem is Teutons are very slow. So now the force in the middle from maxymczech is 30 to 20 ships. That is helpful. That is going to open up the space, and you can actually see the numbers look so much better here. So much more military here by maxymczech. Camels, scouts, or hussars, and gunpowder. And now the Trebs are starting to take out some of these fortifications. Trebs are a little bit exposed. Oh, the Siege Onagers land some shots, kill a lot of their own units. And they should be fine here, but losing those 2 Trebs is a problem. Get that castle up and add some Trebs, add some Rams maybe. But this is kind of... BZ's just taking some really bad fights here. And, I mean, Maxi is taking the better fights, pushing with the Trebs. This is slowly but surely turning into Maxi's favor as long as he can get some access to gold. If he can maybe push back on this top side, he could get access to gold. There's still plenty of gold on the map for him to take. BZ has full control there. Camel's coming forward and to try to push off one of the few wood lines that he has. He is going to start running low on wood, so the plan of turning this into a wood game from minute 1 might actually bear fruit here. Especially with all the relics being here, giving just enough gold for Maxi to maybe squeeze out a few Trebs here and there. Halberdiers coming forward with some Scorpion support. Gunpowder is out of position. They are going to try to save these Trebs. The Trebs are not attacked by the Halberdiers, but the Siege Onager is going to land some shots here. Does get a second shot, takes out one of the Trebs, and those are some gold units that Maxi cannot afford to lose. Lands another shot, takes out all sorts of gunpowder. I mean, it's not a terrible exchange, but that is some stuff that Maxi cannot afford to lose right now. Trebs are going to be hard to replace, but he still has 4. Has some gunpowder, doesn't have a lot of camels, and only cav archers. So nothing to really contest these Scorpions at the moment. Besides gunpowder getting microed with the cav archers. So nice micro from Maxi. Dodging the Scorpion shots so the gunpowder can take out the siege. And that's just enough to make sure that he gets forward. These Trebs are so far forward, though. They're going to be exposed. The gunpowder is busy dealing with the Treb of BZ. And only now trying to come in clutch and save the Trebs from the Halberdiers. Takes out the Trebs, and now BZ can go forward. Some scout raids over here, and the force of BZ is starting to push on this top side. Again, getting some nice raids, killing some villagers. And BZ is content to push off the gold side into the main base. Only 1 Treb, though. BZ needs to add some more Trebs. He only has 1 Treb, not even more in the queue. This push will be too slow, but he's focusing on siege at home. This is a wild game as well. Some more Paladin raids in the backside. He's wasting gold on siege. Yeah. And now there's a big force. He just never has a big enough Teuton Death Ball to survive any of the forces from Maxi. Maxi getting some good shots here. And the Halberdier is just slightly out of position. Gunpowder here is getting so many kills. Truly, the Gunpowder is the MVP of this match. 86 kills on the squad of Gunpowder, and they're going to clean this up pretty handedly. Going to cost him quite a few units to do so, but with only 1 Treb, the castle does stay up. If the second Treb had been there, that castle would be dead. We have the Trebs from BZ coming forward and even repairing them, or from Maxi, and he's repairing these, and they're going to go forward, and Maxi might get access to gold. The moment Maxi gets access to gold, this game might be over. Scouts and Paladins are waiting here. And there's not a lot in defense to protect these Trebs if all these Paladins were to go in. And they are going to go in. The Gunpowder is here, but how much damage can they do against these Trebs? They're going to run past, and they're not going to focus the Trebs. Gunpowder is just too scary. In the meantime, the woodlines are starting to be a problem for BZ. So Maxi's commitment to the water is starting to pay off. There's a lot of woodlines that could be taken, but BZ's committed to trying to pressure this top side. Castle does go down, and there's too much siege, and it's just the micro from Maxi is too much for BZ to handle. Lands a nice shot, but the scouts, or the Hussars, are here to snipe all the siege. Paladins do take out all, but one of the Trebs stays alive with 14 HP. The push continues to go forward a little bit, but it is slow. Onagers show up, and they are going to take out the Treb. It is going to cost quite a lot of siege, though, as those... I mean, it's not terrible attack rounds, but this should go down pretty quickly. BZ spreads them out, trying to get some shots, as the extra armor on the siege Onagers is pretty good. But now all the units are here, and they're going to kill a lot of eco, and there's still so much gold. BZ did not overpopulate the gold massively. So there's still plenty of gold for Maxi to take once he reclaims that area. Paladin's going over here, last ride of the Rohirrim, to try to clean up the water, try to gain access to some wood lines. But, I mean, at this point, you can kind of happily trade galleons for Paladins. I mean, BC does have 6k wood in the bank, so he doesn't really need to worry too much. His issue is food. And just actually keeping up military, really. He's just not producing anything right now. He has all his food in the bank, all this gold in the bank, but BZ's not really making anything. He's making scout calves, which is not what you want to be doing with the Teutons. Unsure where BZ is focused. BZ is focused on raiding with those paladins, which, like, yeah, the paladin raids are doing pretty well, but you need a push at some point. Castle goes up to protect the monastery, which has 8 relics now. That is crazy. So many relics for Maxi. We're gonna, like, 5k relic gold, 1k for BZ. He did get the relics probably on this top side, right? No, he has that relic still there. Relics are here. Probably grabbed them from the corner. Somehow snuck through the water blockade. But the paladin raids are starting to come in, and Maxi is losing a lot, but BZ has no military. He's not really producing a lot. He stopped to micro his units and stopped producing out of his buildings. Some scout calves going to get some villager kills here, but I mean, it is just scout cav, so they're not going to be doing a lot of damage to these villagers. They're going to be cleaned up pretty quickly. That is a good amount of damage, actually. Villagers should get his TC up. And I mean, for scout cav, getting that many villager kills is a pretty good trade. That TC should go up. Access to gold and wood for Maxi. But the wood is going to be an issue for BZ. BZ is out of wood, has 7 on wood. Long distance chopping. Maybe some wood in the middle, but he's running out of trees there. Has a nice forest kind of spread around in the middle. But this area is starting to be exposed. Gold is now available for Maxi, finally at the 43-minute mark. And with the relics in favor of Maxi, this is going to be rough for BZ to maintain a lead. So I think Maxi has already kind of established that he is the one in charge in this match. Hussars going around trying to snag some siege. Going to try to get some siege onagers to land some shots on their own units. Does snipe one onager. There's a lot of siege coming forward. And there's not a lot of defense for Maxi. All the cav units are gone. It is all gunpowder. He needs a lot of camels or hussars to pressure into this. But he does not have anything to contest this death ball. If the halberdiers were staying with the siege, it'd be a better chance. Because now the hussars are added. There's nothing to protect the siege. The halberdiers just being out of position. Gunpowder is going to be able to come in here and help out. The siege needs to land some shots. Bomber cannon is going to take out some of these gunpowders. Siege onager is going to land some nice and juicy shots. Not enough cav units were brought in by Maxi to wipe this out. And now BZ's looking pretty nice here. So Trebs are here counter-trebbing the units of BZ. The gunpowder going to land some nice shots. How is Maxi's micro? And he looked away. All the gunpowder dead. All those kills wasted. I mean, they are going to snipe quite a bit, but down to 2 gunpowder units and now 0. That is a very expensive army to lose. However, Maxi does have access to gold. He has 8 relics. He can remake things now. He has access to all this gold too. He's going to be able to take out some of these trebs, maybe. And he's getting up the cav just enough. And he did get rid of a lot of the siege. The halberdiers not really buying the space the siege needed to survive. And just slightly being out of position allowed the gunpowder to trade effectively enough. Some scouts going in to try to snipe the trebs, but it is scout cav versus hussars, not the best matchup. And they're going to be able to get 1 treb, maybe a second. Going to get the second one. They're pretty weak trebs. And just does get all 3 trebs. So that is a huge, huge play from BZ. And the paladins are going to do so good here. Now there's so much lower military for Maxi. The stronger units of BZ should be really strong here. However, does he have the siege to follow it up with? Does he have the wood? He doesn't have really a lot of wood anymore. The wood lines have been... I mean, with all the ships being pulled back, maybe there's some wood lines, but no, the cannon gallons continue to patrol. The paladins going forward. I like the raids, but he's throwing too many paladins away to really win this long term. He needs the paladins to be able to contest the gunpowder, to contest the siege, contest the cav archers, but he kind of throws them away on raids, and Maxi is kind of fine with that. Now you can see villagers even going so far forward to these last remaining trees. The trebs starting to take out some production buildings. Castle is up. The gold is getting populated a little bit by Maxi. It is a slow but steady thing, and I think BZ is going to start struggling for resources. Paladins continue to raid. I mean, yeah, the Paladin raids are good, but, like, you could do scout raids. And I just think he's just throwing the Paladins away where he doesn't want to be throwing away the Paladins. Has a nice ball here, and this ball could protect a lot of the siege, but the siege has exposed all these trebs on their own. going forward. I mean, they're all... Actually, no, I take it back. There are halberdiers. I missed these halberdiers fighting. So these Trebs are going to be protected. They're going to push on this top side. He wants to knock Maxi off of gold, but he's not realizing that he needs to get access to wood. His focus should be claiming this. Here come the Paladins trying to take out this gunpowder, trying to take out the Cav archers, and they are just getting microed down. The Paladin's going to run past. And, I mean, it's some nice micro. They're going to run into a castle. This is going to get cleaned up, but bought a lot of time. The Paladins aren't doing a lot other than cleaning that up. b3z needs to figure out how to deal with these ships so that he can get access to wood. He's going to push on this top side, so Maxi might get knocked off gold again. Not a lot of military over here. Has a bunch over here, but that is not going to do well against all these halberdiers, assuming that b3z can protect his Trebs pretty decently. Ghulams are going to try to get into and harass these Trebs. But there's enough infantry here that those Ghulams shouldn't be able to do too much. They're going to be able to take out a Treb here. And this castle should fall, and this is actually a lot of loss for Maxi. But he's going to bring in the camels. The halberdiers need... There's no halberdiers here. Where do the halberdiers go? Villagers coming forward, desperate to chop some wood. Paladins are here in protection. And this is going to give an opening for Maxi to push down the middle. He is pop caps, granted again. There's too much water. But Maxi can kind of push in the middle, continue to push through the wood lines, and lean on the wood advantage he has. This is not the best engagement. There's a lot of military here from Maxi, so he's going to take a good fight. The military from b3z standing by idly. Trebs not firing into that massive clump. And unfortunately, enough units came over from Maxi, and b3z doesn't have the reinforcements. The halberdiers weren't ever there where he needed to. Now the Paladin is finally landing onto the gunpowder. But the micro from Maxi, the Cav Archer Master, is going to do well. BTKs are doing an amazing job at cleaning up a lot of these units, but the gunpowder stays alive, and there's units to body block the BTKs, and the gunpowder should take care of them pretty quickly. The champions and halberdiers went forward to deal with the TC. That's where they were. It's too little, too late. So, I mean, at the end of the day, b3z does survive this through the strength of the ETKs. And there's more fights going on in the middle. b3z slowly but surely clawing his way back into this. This is an insane, insane game. I mean, I still don't know who's going to win. Maxi's once again knocked off gold. He has access to... He's out of gold over here. There's no more gold. He's losing his base. He's making more ranges. And he's going to struggle for gold. I mean, he still has the 8 relics, which is keeping him in this game. But it's hard to deal with the Teutons, who are just so tanky. And now b3z's taking the remaining gold on the map. But b3z still has to figure out how to deal with the wood game. This is crazy that this is game 1. This is only game 1. I thought I'd do one more decently length game. Or one more set. And if this goes till 2 AM, I'm going to regret this. Paladin raids, dying to castles. Skirmishes in the middle. We have a big force over here still trying to contest these Trebs. This Anju's going to pop out and not get a shot off. A second shot does come off and take out a lot of the gunpowder. Does get another shot. Only loses a little bit. So not the best Siege Workshop play, but it does keep... It does get some kills, but these Trebs and villagers are exposed, and some nice finds from Maxi, and he might be able to reclaim some of this gold. He's sniping these Trebs, and these Trebs are going to be very expensive, not because of the gold. I mean, it is going to be because of the gold. Maxi's out of... or b3z's out of gold. This is the only gold pile remaining on the map. I mean, there is this gold pile that Maxi hasn't taken yet. b3z struggling with wood is able to reach some of it, but the Cannon Galleon hasn't taken notice and is popping a shot every once in a while, killing a villager here and there. And it's going to be, I think, b3z just doesn't have the resources to reboom. He had some decent engagements, but he's down to 18 military, losing all of his paladins on raids. Maxi's down to 55 villagers, but has 145 population. That is so much population. Last attempt by b3z with the 26 pop he has to clean up this gunpowder. And even if he does clean it up, there's so much military coming through the middle. Still no siege from Maxi. Gunpowder just slowly being microed back. Probably wants to find it right in between this hole. But this should get cleaned up, though the micro is pretty solid. This is where patrol stacking would be huge, and this actually might just get cleaned up by Maxi. There's too many scouts there, and he's going to have to force a tap out. Maxi wins a slobber. Pathing is shit, pathing is shit. Yeah, I mean, you gotta run past sometimes and do that. And, like, there's patrol stacking, which is legal. But really, the question was just gonna be wood. And, like, he lost too much siege and didn't do enough damage. That was quite the insane game. You want to see some statistics. A massive kill-death ratio. Insane. 12k gold, but 9k or 10k relic gold. That's insane that Max was able to keep up. I mean, that's probably 8 relics, right? BZ did have more wood. That's crazy. BZ was knocked off wood for so long. The water play somehow won Maxi the game. What a crazy, crazy game. Maxi's micro is solid. To put some points, Maxi's gambling against himself. That's hilarious. Hey, BZ's here as well. That was quite the game. BZ, I think, had a chance to win that. The unfortunate situation was just Siege just never stayed alive long enough. Micro's minus D. Yeah. It is the hardest part about Deathmatch is being able to protect your Siege. It is so important and it is so hard to do. So, unfortunately, you weren't able to get that. Missed it. There's a bug on the wall I wanted to get, so one flutter in my eye. Also, hello, Randy Pan. Sorry, I didn't see your message. Let me load up the next game in the Maxi BC. God, we have 4 more of these games. I don't know how long these are going to be. I was not expecting an hour-long game on Fez. I mean, I probably should have expected that, but at the same time, come on. That game felt like it should have been over multiple times, but it was both players kept alive. They took the fights, they killed where they needed to. BZ took control of the gold. But Maxi does come up on top with the Hindustanis over the Teutons. Next up is going to be it is going to be Savannah. So we have Fez, we have Savannah next. What are we feeling? Let's see, Savannah, I could see Georgians versus Gajaras. Georgians, Gajaras, for sure. Yeah, the hand cannons were insanely powerful there with the micro. It's why you hate having to go siege. Yeah. Didn't expect the wood game from minute 1. It was shocking to everyone. So what are the predictions from Savannah, besides from Maxi and BZ? And I can't read your predictions right now because a certain individual cat is standing in the way, blocking chat, being annoying. Yes, you. I know you're cute, but you gotta choose to go somewhere else. You can go on my lap if you want. You just can't be right on my keyboard. No. Sir. Okay, yeah, go over there. That's a good spot. You can lay down there and hang out. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good cat. Alrighty. After you took wood, you kind of panicked. Yeah. It was a weird position. That's not a position most people have seen before. 60 galleons on Fez is a strategy that I think is revolutionarily new. Whether it's good or not is a different story. You think Vietnamese here? I can see that. Vietnamese, yeah, with the cav archers. So, all right, let's get underway because I do kind of want to go to bed at some point. And my throat will give out at some point too. But game number 2. Welcome to game number 2. Maxi taking the first victory in the series. Playing the Vietnamese in the blue against BZ playing the Gujaras. And a interesting opening. Getting a little bit farther away from the TC, but should be fine. However, I mean, the Cav Archer play could be very deadly if you're not very careful. Barry's, of course, going to be annoying, kind of blocking some buildings maybe. But we see the Shravamsa Riders are the opening unit for BZ, not Camels. I mean, I guess you're expecting BZ, or you're expecting Maxi to go into Cav Archers right out the gate, which, like... I mean, BZ has done his scouting. So... Yeah, usually camels is the play. Shrivamsis is a huge mistake 99% of the time, but this is the perfect counter opening against Cav Archer play from maxymczech. 57 Cav Archers play queued up. And the Shrivamsis need to clump up a little bit, but once they start flooding forward, it's going to be very hard for Cav Archers to deal with this. Cheat unit, I mean, yeah. Adding in the Elephant Archers, this seems like a massive counter for maxymczech. Just so much anti-Cav Archer units. b3z knows exactly what Maxi is planning the moment he saw the Vietnamese. No elephants from the Vietnamese. It is just straight Cav Archers. And, I mean, only one kill so far, but he's trapped at home, and the Shrivamsis are going to start being a problem. The Elephant Riders are here. I mean, we need to see more units coming forward. b3z holding off a little bit, not sending everything forward. If he has everything forward, he actually could win the game, but the castle's going to go up. Enough Cav Archers are here to deal with small number of units, even if the units are supposed to counter. So now b3z sending the forces forward. When does he start adding Trebs? When does he start adding Siege? Getting the castles and the TCs up. So b3z start looking really strong. Maxi finally getting the castles up. 2 castles is up. The clump is complete. Not the best clump, but he is able to get going, and the castles are up, will protect his base, so we need to see the siege. Cav Archers trying to fight against the elite Elephant Archers, but they're going to be able to chase them away. Shrivamsis is not chasing after them. Those Cav Archers are going to go try to snipe some villagers, and the villagers are so exposed. There is feasting available for these Cav Archers. And the Elephant Archers are too slow. You got to send the Shrivamsis over at them. The villager is going to die to the Cav Archers. Maxi finding what he needs to with his opening. Gonna pick off the villagers even with the cheat units. b3z just didn't get the castles up fast enough for the Cav Archers, and not enough pressure was applied. So Maxi's able to get all those Vill snipes. 8 Vills killed. Could even be a 9th. The Cav Archers should die down pretty significantly. That's a lot of units to lose. But it does find even more villagers. 11 eco kills from what looked like a very rough start for Maxi. Gets 13. b3z down to 4 villagers. Now the Shrivamsis are here, and they should clean this up. If the Shrivamsis were there from the get-go, this would have been a lot less detrimental. Even more villagers going down. No, hop in the castle. b3z down to 5 villagers. The castle does go up, and this is going to give him a nice launching point. But Maxi transitioning into the Halberdiers, getting the champions out, getting some skirms. Arbalests and Rattans as well to deal with the massive amount of Elephant Archers from b3z. This is going to be tough to do, but Maxi does have a massive lead with 20 villagers. The only problem is that a lot of the production and buildings have already been built for b3z. It's just the eco transition isn't going to be there for him. With elephants, of course, that is always a significant problem. That's a worry. We have a pincer movement. The elephants slowly attacking. Shrivamsis and camels coming forward to try to deal with them. And there's not a lot here for Maxi. b3z could push. He needs some Trebs. He needs some siege. There's a Trebs queued up finally. Has some on the way. Some Shrivamsis going around for the side raids. b3z playing this very well. And he's going to start pressuring here. The Elephant Archers doing so much damage. There's not a lot here to deal with these Elephant Archers. No siege from Maxi. No onagers. No scorpions. It's just going to be Cav Archers, and Cav Archers will lose against the Elephant Archers. Some elephants being added a little bit too late. All the gold was spent on these Cav Archers, and unfortunately the Gajars kind of counter Cav Archers pretty well with Elephant Archers and the Shrivamsis. And now the Trebs start rolling forward, and Maxi is looking in a world of hurt. Shrivamsis even in the back, trying to find some villagers straight. There's not a lot. There's a Treb here for the back sneak Treb. Except it's going to be out exposed. No, Shrivamsis save it. We have a defensive castle in the back. Shrivamsis do lose the Treb, unfortunately, but the focus is in the middle. There's a lot of Cav Archers, but there's so many Elephant Archers here. Add the Shrivamsis. Keep sending the Shrivamsis forward. Cav Archers coming forward to try to snipe some Trebs or something. And once more elephants get here, it's going to be tough for the Elephant Archers to keep up with the micro of Maxi. But with a Shrivamsis here, the Elephant Archers are going to be doing so much damage here. I mean, Maxi's kind of holding. There's a lot here. There's a lot of Elephant Archers, a lot of Cav Archers, a lot of Rattans, and with the Elephants being so tanky, and only really having Elephant Archers here, I don't know if the Elephant Archers have enough DPS to deal with this massive Rattans and Cav Archers. The Rattans having so high Pierce armor. the elephant archers aren't able to really easily whittle them down, and the elephants being added. So Maxi pushing back surprisingly when it looked like all hope was lost. b3z not having the military following up. b3z's problem has been he runs out of resources and doesn't continue his production. No units in production. Adding in skirms, adding in halberdiers here would be huge, but he's going to slowly lose elephant mass, and b3z, even with the advantage he had, is going to lose his forces as Maxi pushes forward with all of his units. And the elephant archers are good, but into the high pierce armor of the Ratans and all the cav archers and the elephants. The key addition being the elephants, just to soak up so many arrows. Of course, with his 2 castles, it's going to be hard to push into it. We will have to see some trebs added by Maxi. Yeah, Ratans being added. I mean, the key part was there's just not enough Shrivamsas. There's not enough, like, camels. There's not enough, like, just adding Hussar in would have been huge, right? The Hussars would have been great meat shields, would have been focused, kept all the attention on them. He has some food. His eco isn't really set up. Probably wants to find a way to spend the wood, maybe sell the wood, get some more gold for more elephants. But just the composition really isn't there for b3z. He was relying on those elephant archers, and the moment there's too much pierce armor and HP, which of course the Vietnamese is famous for their tanky battle elephants, their tanky Rattan archers, it's just too much for a ball of elephant archers to really do it. You need some siege behind it, you need some scorpions, some onagers, something else to help out there, and Max is going to start slow pushing back. His eco is better. The massive cav raid showing off in the long run, killing all those villagers and slowing b3z's eco down quite a lot. Only now is b3z getting out of food and wood. I mean, he has some resources in the bank, but you already abused market, yeah, but you know, even if you're not going to get the best prices, you're not using the wood very much. You probably should be spending that on food and gold to make sure you get more elephants or more Shrivamsas. Something to help with this, where you have 8k wood burning a hole in your pocket. And b3z is forced back. Maxi going to continue forward and take out this forward production. And now there's a good, healthy elephant count. There's a healthy amount of cav archers and Rattans. And now the question is going to be, how do you deal with elephants plus Rattans? We're adding Hussars, which is going to be helpful. Some Scorpions, some Chakrams. I don't know about the Chakram throwers. I mean, some splash damage wouldn't be the worst idea. But it's going to be so tough to contest this. Trebs are set up, and really it's going to be up to b3z to contest this. I mean, Gajars do get bombard cannons, right? Yeah, they do get bombard cannons. They could theoretically snipe this, but with Max's micro, it's not going to be a thing. Elephants trying to contest here. Now here come the Onager trying to land some shots, but there's not a lot of infantry here for someone to soak up these elephants. And the Rattans start pushing forward. The castle's going to go down, and the advantage is going to swing in the favor of Maxi for sure. Castle is about to go down, and the Rattans and cav archers do press forward. It is a lot of elephant archers though. And the Onagers are here, and all the elephants are gone. So these Onagers need to be microed down, and Maxi, of course, cav archer micro is his bread and butter. Does micro them down pretty well, but does cost him quite a bit of archers. Castle does go up, and b3z has survived this, taking out a lot of losses, taking out a lot of forces from Maxi. Surprise side TC. Not even a castle or a stable or anything like that, which is shocking. b3z starting to spread out. Elephant archers starting to get some shots, but I mean, again, you need something to deal with this high pierce armor. The elephant archers are going to fall back. Onagers are going to be the answer from b3z to try to contest some of these archer units. The problem is that Maxi is so good at sniping them. Sending one at a time isn't the play. You need to kind of send them all forward. The Rattans doing so, and the skirms, Imperial skirms mixed in too. You just have so much HP and pierce armor that the elephant archers just aren't the best idea here. And they're going to be microed just well enough. Here come enough siege onagers. And the elephants are blocking them, but does land a huge shot, taking out half the Rattans, and now the elephants can press forward. But the Imperial skirms and the Rattans continue to be problems. Shrivamsa riders being sent out to the side. Again, at this point, you add in you send those Shrivamsa riders in here, and this force gets wiped out. So b3z looking to clap back with a massive chunk of elephants, but still only onagers to support. No Shrivamsas. Cav archers trying to go forward, maybe try to get some micro in, but now we see some elephants from Maxi being added. good attack ground here. Elephants need to be attacking that elephant. Does take it out. Andre's going to land some shots, and now Max Micro is going to be put to the test. BZ spreading out on these sides. Shrivamsas are around. We have fires and halberdiers protecting the sides. Some side pushes are in play for BZ. And now the Trebs try to find a position to roll forward. And it is going to be tough to contest these skirms unless the Onagers are there. This is a very slow army from the Gujaras. And they should be able to do this in small amounts. And there's still not a lot of elephants from Maxi. He doesn't have the gold. He doesn't have the resources to do so. And these Onagers are going to do some self-shots. And the Ratan's going to try to micro. And they're going to take out at least a couple of these siege or these regular Onagers. So it is a nice find. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. These Onagers need to get some good shots. They need to make sure not to land on their own Elephant Archers. But some good split micro. The Elephant Archers are going to be picking away, and nice shots are landed. And the Elephant Rams, Siege Elephants are here also to support. Siege Elephants alone are actually a really good mix just to soak up all the arrow fire. And now Maxi's on the back foot. We need to see some Shrivamsas. We need to see something else. But the Rams are here. And the Siege Onagers are exposed. The scouts, the light cav are going to snipe all these siege. The elephants weren't paying attention. The light cav snipe a siege onager. The halberdier is going to snipe another one and maybe even get a third. Skirmishers trying to get some shots. Going to take some shots for their trouble, but down to one siege onager, and they're going to be microed down. Max siege so deadly with this, and protecting the siege is so difficult, especially at these lower levels. Even though Division 9 isn't the lowest level anymore. Yeah, these Trebs are going to start doing some really good damage. There's not a lot here in defense. And now the skirms all kind of get taken out by these Elephant Archers. There's a lot of Trebs counter-trebbing. These Trebs are going to probably go down if he's not careful. This castle should go down. Villagers try to repair, and it's not going to happen. Elephant Archers are forward. And now BZ just slowly trundling forward with the Elephant Archers and the Trebs. Needs to deal with these Trebs before the Trebs are taken out of his own. And he won't have any way to push forward. The Rams should be going forward. The Rams need to be in play. If those Siege Elephants were here, this TC would be down. The Rams could just be targeted. There they go. Trebs need to stay alive. No villagers here to repair. No forward castle coming out. We do see more forward stables at least. BZ is spreading out. Has some good push here. I want to sleep. I hope these games are not too long. I mean, Otter's already gone to sleep. I just have some work to be done. Yeah, these are long games. BZ looking like he's going to make some really good pressure here. The Rams aren't really able to be dealt with. I mean, there's two halberdiers slowly poking away. And unfortunately, the Elephant Archers were taking too long to deal with them. These Rams are going to go down. Castle goes up. The halberdier is not being focused on. This is where the micro really can shine. And unfortunately, BZ's already mentioned his micro isn't the best. The Rams don't really get a lot done. And the Elephants are forced to turn away as the Trebs were taken out. There's no Shrivamsas being mixed in. Now we see the Shrivamsas. And now we see another force. We do need to see some more Trebs coming in to help deal with the buildings. But BZ still kind of in the driver's seat, has the military advantage, has the eco advantage, has the map control. One Chakram, gonna get some kills here. We'll see if Maxi reacts at all. But this Chakram slowly but surely gonna get some villager kills. We'll check back in on that Chakram soon. But yeah, skirms are just gonna be tough to deal with. I mean, yeah, skirms can micro well against the onagers, but once you start adding in these Shrivamsas, there's not a lot of answer. There are halberdiers here. BZ needs to pull these Shrivamsas back. They need to be contested with the Elephant Archer protecting them, but he runs them too far forward, and they're going to get chewed up by the halberdiers before the Elephant Archers have anything to say about it. Now the Elephant Archers can clean up those halberdiers, and there's not a lot here for the Vietnamese to really contest this. Yes, the Pierce Armor and HP is a big deal, but the Elephant Archers, there's so many of them. Adding in a Monk as well would be huge. But now the Trebs are for the Elephant Archers, providing some good preventing of those Trebs being sniped. The Rams being brought in as well. Onagers being brought forward to try to snipe them. Elephants are here. Rams going to take out one production. Rams going a little bit too far forward on their own. Landing some nice shots here, but only Elephant Archers and Siege is not when you need to defend your Trebs. We need some more Hussars. We need something more just to block the units. And the Elephants can just walk past. The Elephant Archers are a hard blob to contest into, but you can kind of just walk past them a lot of times. And the numbers have been dwindling slowly but surely. BZ needs to get his production going. Down to 20, and the Imperial Skirms are just so much easier to refill than the Elephant Archers. Camels being added, and that is a nice add. Camel's going to do some pretty solid work here, cleaning up some of these archer units. Is it too little, too late? A lot of units were lost for BZ. He's getting back up to 23 elephants. Battle elephants are so hard to deal with for Gajars, yeah. And now, like, this fight is going to be rough. The camels run right into the arms of the halberdiers. The elephants are just not in the numbers they need to be to deal with the halberdiers. And you lose another Treb. He has these side stables. Is he doing stuff with them? He could do some raids here. The problem is that he's just not getting the raids, and he set up this nice side base and hasn't really been able to do much with it. We'd love to see some scout raids running into the eco, causing some problems. He's just not taking the best fights here. Elephants are split up, and you need the elephants to be a critical mass. Camels are going to chase him down. Halberdier is a little bit out of position as well. Camels are just going to run by, maybe go for some raids. I mean, I don't like sending the gold units in to do these raids. There's a problem in the second game with sending your paladins always to do these raids. These elephants taken down. You need these elephants to clump up. And there's the Hussar raids we want to see. You like to see this raid, for sure. Shavamsa raids would also be fine here, but camel raids were not it. I mean, fighting the elephant isn't where you want to be with two TCs and a castle firing in. Halberdiers now coming forward here, going to pick off some more of these elephants. There's enough elephant archers and chakrams. Now the chakrams make a little bit more sense with so many halberdiers being made. Still nothing out of the side stables. Scouts doing a pretty solid job here, cleaning up these lonely Imperial skirms. And the fight in the middle, I mean, it's still just non-stop archer units for maxymczech. And the elephant archers just do not have the numbers to contest the high pierce armor and the high numbers of the Vietnamese, and he needs to pull them back yesterday. b3z struggling to figure out what his answer is and just needs more military. He has all the production he ever needs, and unfortunately he's queuing a lot of this military back. This is why I like to set like side bases to hotkeys, so I can every once in a while hotkey it, click into your opponent's base, and just spam out of those. Elephant's going to come over and just try to take out this TC. There is nothing supporting them. This Hussars are away, but this TC will go down to the massively fast rush of the siege elephants. And now the Hussars coming on the side, and they're going to land some nice attacks. Very nice play with all these Hussars taking out a lot of these useful units from maxymczech. So the b3z swap to the Hussars is going to be very nice. Halberdiers slowly coming into the play. And at this point, you pull the Halberdiers back because they're just going to get melted without the elephant archers in support. And there's not a lot of elephant archers here. This fight probably shouldn't be taken by b3z. He's going to start losing a lot of them. Elephant archers only now starting to come into play and help out with these halberdiers. And there's still a good number of Hussars here, so I think this should still be fine. But he's falling back, but he lost a lot there. If the elephant archers were a little bit closer, it would have been a better fight. We have a lot of Hussar raids on the side. We have some monasteries already in play for both players. And now that b3z has realized that he needs to just send a lot of Hussars into this field, into this game, b3z is going to start destroying the economy of Maxi. And we like to see it. Trying to expand over here, but the stable wall will stand fast against this army. This army is super out of position since a lot of the army is in the base, but they're fighting underneath castles and TCs, all clumped up. There's no siege follow-up, only one Treb for b3z. And maxymczech survives, and b3z had so much military there. Still has 62 on farms, but isn't making Hussars. Every once in a while, you just got to shift. I mean, V is my stable hotkey. Every once in a while, I just shift V, shift S, which is my Hussar, and I just spam a bunch of them, and you'll be fine. But, okay, now we're queuing up the Hussars. This is kind of where some of the struggle is going to be. And now the Trebs going forward by themselves. That is some Trebs you cannot afford to lose. The Scouts even going past. There's just not enough elephant archers here. Hussars abandoned the army, and they're just going to run into the base. But there's so many castles in the base that haven't been dealt with, because Maxi keeps sniping the siege. And it's tough. And you can't really add spears or anything like that. Maxi, this is the longest set he's played. I mean, yeah, this has been an insane back and forth set. Maxi losing so much eco, though. The raids have been so deadly. Down to 74 workers. b3z has massive economy lead. But the KD is just so in favor of b3z, I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess it's just been so much, but it's a lot of gold units lost by b3z. Whereas it's a lot of Imperial skirms. More Hussar raids, we love to see it. But good reaction from Maxi. And there's a castle. I think just adding a Treb or two and just pushing from different sides is what you need to be doing. You can't really raid and Treb at the same time. I think at this point you need to kind of focus. Chakrams gonna fight the Rattans, which like actually is gonna be really good because the melee damage, the Rattans don't have great melee armor. But Chakram's gonna be a really nice find here. Hussar's gonna protect a little bit. Chakrams are pulled away, which is a mistake. I think you need to send the Chakrams for them. They're gonna be fine here. They get pulled away and the Hussars get thrown to the Halberdiers. Chakram's gonna do fine, but these Rattans continue to rock forward and get a lot of eco kills. Castle should be able to take out a lot of them. There's not a lot of eco over here. I mean, there is a castle, it's some farm space over there protecting. And Castle is sent up, and there's a lot of military here that's going to get cleaned up, but a lot of villagers do die for their position. And yeah, this is just the problem, is BZ just can't protect a siege long enough to mount any sort of push. Now has a pretty solid massive military. He's just sending them into different spots, trying to chase some Rattans that don't exist anymore. Chakram is so good here, only counter a siege. And Elephant? No, I guess, yeah, with enough Chakrams, Elephants aren't going to have a great time. Has Mr. McCzech made any siege? No, I don't think he even has siege workshops. He may have lost a few in the beginning. I don't think he's made a single siege workshop. It's been all Trebs from Maxi and almost entirely Skirms and Halberdiers. Alright, looks like BZ's deciding to push on this right side. This is crazy. No siege workshops. Has 1 relic. BZ's gotten up to 3 relics. Is losing this expansion, but took up all this gold, which is nice. More stables that aren't going to be producing anything ever. So it's going to be a question. Here comes a big fight. Chakrams are going to do really well against these Halberdiers. And the Hussars are microed. BZ showing he does have at least some APM to spend, which is nice to see. And the Hussar is going to do a very good job. And now we can fight here. Send the Chakrams forward. Use the Chakrams. The Rattans clump up. The Trebs survive. You got to start using the Trebs. You got to use the Trebs when you win a fight. A few more Trebs would be nice too, though you are struggling for gold. Trebs are going to set up. You can't expose the Trebs. You need to keep your units close enough. And this is a lot of eco that can be exposed pretty quickly if this push actually bears some fruit. But the Trebs are too far forward, and the military is too far back. The Rattans can come over here, and they do have the downhill bonus. But it's a little bit late from BZ to respond, and the Rattan's going to fight. The Trebs, you need to keep trebbing. You can't pull them back here. I think you just keep going. You are going to win this fight. The Chakram's going to get some good shots here on the hill. But he pulls the Trebs back, and no damage is going to be found. And unfortunately, not enough military was here from BZ. Still has 4k food in the bank. Could spam a lot of Hussars. His focus is pulled elsewhere. And he holds the Trebs off for another push. But unfortunately, is just unable to get any notable damage done. I think some monks would be nice here too. Just keep your elephants and your units even healthier. At a point when you're starting to trade a lot of units, having monks just give you some excess value purely from the ability to heal up and give you essentially free units here and there can pay off so well. And now here is the problem, is Maxi is much better at protecting his siege. 1 Treb is going to come forward. No villagers are over here to repair. Hussars could go forward and try to contest this, but BZ's going to kind of delay this a little bit and only send a small number of Hussars in. And they're going to get chewed up. And, I mean, you need to send everything in at once. He's trying to flank, but there's so few numbers here. Chakrams are going to get some good shots here. Go onto the Trebs. The Elephant Archers are going to get some good engagements, but the Hussar is just a little bit late. Chakram's getting some good shots, but there's just not enough reinforcements here. BZ never sent more reinforcements, never made more Hussars. And he's down to 8. Like, his military just isn't where it needs to be. He has a lot of military on this side, so he's focusing on this side, stopping this push. Going to try to push in on this side where there is some gold left. There are some resources, and we have a back-to-back wood game at this point. Oh boy, if all 5 games of this, we're here till tomorrow. Skirmishers being played by the Gajaras. What armor are they missing? They're missing the last armor, which is going to be problematic in the Skirm War. But this is the problem, is like Lycav plus Rattans are just such a good combination of Maxi's micro. If he can add another Treb in it, this will actually be a massive danger. 1 Treb is dangerous. But I mean, the good news is BZ knows that he should have a relic advantage, though Maxi did manage to get a 2nd relic. Where is that other relic? Are they both in that? Is that just blind? Yeah, they both are in this relatively safe spot. Hussars are a little bit better here, but the Rattans are just so strong. There's just so much more gold on the field, and he just throws the light cab away to snipe the Trebs. Maxy's micro and unit control is just what makes him him. There's not enough units to deal with these Rattans fast enough, or the scout light cab to deal with these Rattans and everything. Castle should stay alive. Elephant's going to try to do this, and the villager's going over to repair the Trebs. There's just so many Rattans here, and it's just never really has been able to contest the Rattans easily. A siege onager or two would be nice. He has like 1k gold. BZ very well could add some siege in again. But he is fully committed to skirm hussar play, which is fine. But you need to have the numbers to do so. There's a lot of times there's not a lot in the queue. He has plenty of production buildings. But he needs some gold to deal with these Rattans. Chakrams might not be the play you want. A bombard cannon or two would be nice too. It would get sniped. Taking out this Treb is probably priority number one. Maxi just does not have gold to replace his gold units. That's the problem. Hussars coming in on the side, going for a flank. Caught out by Maxi, but there's not a lot of Rattans here. He's going to snipe this Treb. Just go in, kill the Treb, and let everything fall through. Treb does go down. Hussars are going to get pulled out. I don't even know if you save the Hussars at that point. You just let them get some trades for some Rattans. I think if you just kill the as many Rattans as you can, you're going to find yourself in a better position. But the castle will be saved. We have a Treb there in reserve. Hussars now engaging here. This is now a mistake. You have the Rattans behind the meat shields. This is not the engagement you want. And now you have to retreat. Have another Hussar raid over here. A lot of Halberdiers and skirmishers over here pressuring. This is turning into a trash wood game. Hussars going for more and more raids. BZ does raid quite often. Maxi not really ever aiming to raid. He has a slower composition for sure. Now BZ still not queuing up Hussars. Has 54 farms, 4k food. Only queuing up Hussars once at a time. This is where hotkeys can be super important. Chakram throwers are massed up over here, and they're going to clean this army up so well. So mass chakrams over here are going to be a problem for Maxi to deal with. We'll see if he adds any siege at all, though he doesn't really have any gold to do so. He does have access to this gold again. Hussars attacking where they probably shouldn't be. Castle's taking a lot of kills here. Oh yeah, paper money is massive here. Maxi's getting a lot of paper money gold here. I forgot about this in the previous set, and I forgot about it here. So long as Maxi has access to wood, he has access to some gold. Chakram's going to take out his TC. That is very cool to see. That is a cool effect. And now the army just not well controlled. The Rattans on their own are going to do so well against the small forces. If all the Chakrams were there, it would have been a good fight. You can take this fight, BZ. Take the fight. The Chakrams will get 2 shots off and kill half of these Rattans. They're so low. And even on this side, the Treb is back, and Maxi is starting to pressure the castle again. Maxi's just better at taking the better fights and protecting the siege, and that is the determining factor in this entire set. Keeping the gold units alive is massive. Maxi's been pop capped this entire time. BZ just isn't great at keeping his production going. And now BZ is out of stone. Not a lot of resources left on the map. 2k gold left, 200 stone left. Still some berries, right? I assume, no. Where is their food? Oh, yeah, the berry bushes. There they are. Just in case they want a little snack. And now the military for Maxi is maxed out, and there's just too much here for BZ to deal with. I mean, BZ is maxed out as well, but his military is out of position. There's a lot on this top side doing nothing. He has, what, 60 units over here? Not really participating. Siege getting exposed to random halberdiers is just BZ's positioning of his units just isn't where it needs to be, unfortunately. And now Maxi's pushing on this right side, opening up some more wood lines, gaining access to this right side of the map. There's not a lot of eco over here, but this map control is going to be very nice and a very big hill right here to push from. And, I mean, once BZ starts losing ground, it's going to be a problem. He's starting to have to take forward wood lines. He does have access to this side, but without resources, it's just going to be more and more difficult. And there's still 2k gold here. I almost want a lot of the villagers of BZ to go forward and just try to take as much gold as possible. But we have a huge Hussar raid here. All the forces are finally here, and they're trying to get engagement here. Trying to micro here, not taking the best engagement. I mean, we have a surround over here. The skirmisher's going to land some good shots, and I think this is going to go pretty well. The Shotgun's doing well against the elephants. The Hussar's getting onto the Rattans. Don't worry about the Trebs. Don't worry about the Trebs. And you can't focus on the Trebs. Shotguns need to be focused on the Rattans. Killing the Rattans. There we go. Shotgun's doing some massive shots against the Rattans. That is a lot of gold units that Maxi is going to regret losing. Finally taking out those Rattans. Yeah, the Shotguns are doing decently enough against the Rattans. Just in the massive numbers, the Rattans are going to get chewed up through the massive amount of AoE damage. Focusing the Trebs was secondary there. Yes, you might... The castle was going to survive long enough. So a little bit missed micro there. If you just killed the Rattans, you'd have much more of your army remaining. We have a monk coming out. Is that monk just standing by? Yeah, the monk's not even healing. We have more and more Hussars being added. Maxi is now going full on light cav and halberdiers. They have 6 range, but throw the frisbee for 10. Yeah. So now the question is going to be who saves up for siege. We do have a couple Trebs coming in the way. The question though is if BZ can save the Trebs from being destroyed. Maxi is so good at dealing with sniping the Trebs. Sniping some villagers over here, making the wood lines a little bit more risky for BZ. BZ still has this nice wood line in the back and some access to wood over here. I don't know where he's getting all of his wood. Hussar is going through and raiding a lot. But I mean, I think he kind of needs to clump up and push with these Trebs. The raids are nice and all, but he's throwing away too many Hussars. He needs to keep producing. He needs to make sure all these units protect the Trebs. That is the most important thing in the game, is these 2 Trebs. There is nothing else in the game that matters quite as much. And here they go. They are exposed. Once again, the military just needs to be exactly around it. Gonna land some shots, but I think 1 or 2 of these are going to be destroyed. And yeah, you just got too far away. You just need to bring your units and just surround it, like box formation even, around the Treb or something. 1 Treb does stay alive, which is going to be helpful, but you need that 2nd Treb to actually make some progress. Hussar is going to continue to raid. And I mean, now at this point, it might just be the Hussar advantage. He is fighting under this castle, which you do not want to be doing. Only 1 Treb contesting this. And there's a lot of military over here. BZ's not really supporting it. All the Hussars going over here to raid, but there's so many castles here. He's thrown away so much to these castles. 6 kills, 10 kills, 8 kills. It's just tough. I mean, the skirmisher is going to trade here. The light cav trying to circle around, and there is still a good amount here to protect that Treb. Vietnamese castles are very weak. That is true. Skirmishers trying to get some contesting, and yeah, you need more Hussars here to deal with the skirms. And there is enough here. BZ finally protecting his 1 Treb. A 2nd Treb would be huge here. He has their gold for it. Hussars do get cleaned up, though. And now he's trying to expand into this, which is nice. Also, Maxi has 69 gold, or 69 stone. Very nice. Light cav are going to be a problem. And we actually have the legendary, never thought to be possible, onagers from maxymczech. He's going to land some shots. But the Hussars are here. There's no halberdiers on the field to deal with them. But such few Hussars going in for raids aren't going to be able to deal with this. And the castle does go down. This could turn into a wood game, though. Onagers could chop some wood lines. But, I mean, oh god. He's not responding. BZ, send the units forward. Okay, there they go. But a massive shot from those onagers. Those onagers are going to have a nice angle of attack, being protected by the trees. Hussars clumping up. Treb's trying to land some shots. They're going to micro down. The onagers can't reach it. And, I mean, the Shotgun's doing some pretty decent shots. There's not enough Hussars. We need more Hussars going in. We need the Hussars to continue to go forward. They're going to go forward, and they're going to snipe the onagers. What a find from BZ, but there's still 3 onagers back, rolling back. And, I mean, a lot of light cav are coming out. Treb is getting packed up, might get sent away, and is going to get pulled back as BZ realizes he probably isn't going to be able to win this fight, and there's nothing much to push right there. So he's going to pull the Treb back for another rainier day. And he's going to continue to try to contest here. Hussars and the skirms doing really well here against the light cav of maxymczech. Hussars going forward to try to snipe the siege. Might be able to get 1 Villagers drastically repairing. All the villagers going drastically repair and save that siege on that onager. But I think they got the other onagers. And the Hussars continue to flood forward. And now we see BZ leaning on that Hussar advantage and 7k wood. He should have 100 Hussars in the queue. 200 Hussars in the queue. Just every single stable should be maxed out with Hussars. He has a little bit of a force on the side, taking the gold. This gold is so vital. BZ playing this so well for the second wood game. Maxi M is the reason. Yeah, Hussars going forward again. Taking out more onagers, and that might start spelling the doom. The Treb needs to be brought forward. The glorious Trebuchet. The calves do get pulled out. And the skirmishers are a little bit exposed here. And more Hussars need to be added. That is a lot of exposed Trebs. If these light calves win the fight, they could snipe these Trebs. Those Trebs could be a killing blow. We need to see, again, 100. We need 200 Hussars in the queue. We need 300 Hussars in the queue. You just spam Hussars non-stop. There is nothing else you need to do in this game to win it. We have a house wall to wall in his opponent. BZ with the strats. Prevent any expansion on that side. The gold is going to run out soon. The skirmisher's getting some nice villager kills. Maxi running out of space. Light Cav trying to come over here and try to find some damage, as it mostly is some... I mean, there's gunpowder and chakrams here, but there's Hussars here. Some villagers going to be taken out. Skirmishers aren't going to do great here, but the Hussars moving in. And the Trebs are somewhat well protected here. And BZ takes it after so long. What a game 2. Holy crap. And that, you know what? This is what we like to see. Look at that. 36 Hussars in the queue. BZ finally realized. Spam the Hussars. Flood them into this world. Jesus Christ. Lucky. Why are we asked for wood games, and I got 2 out the gate. I need 3 more cumin games. My throat's gonna be miserable. I'm gonna lose my voice for my Smash. I have a Smash tournament I'm staffing this weekend. I'm gonna have no voice. Oh my god, Maxi. BZ, why did you do this to me? Oh, this is gonna be the worst. Oh, this is such a good set, though. I'm gonna have to tell Otto to watch this, too. He'll probably want to watch it. Hey, no spoilers, Maxi. No spoilers. And I also hope that... I'm also worried that that might just be a lie. They could all be wood games. But yeah, no spoilers. We don't want no spoilers in our cast. I'm gonna have to fill up on water real quick. So the next map is going to be Akare. So I would like y'all to figure out what you think is going to be the next Civ. Was that Gujaras? Yeah, Gujaras with the elephants and Shrivamsas. I forgot that there were Shrivamsas in that game. That's how long that game was. So Akare, Persians, or Malay, and Ethiopians. It's going to be an Ethiopian rush. I'm expecting the Ethiopian rush. Maxi drafts the Ethiopians with a blind pick for Akare. I think we all know what's coming. I'll be right back to fill up on water. Alright, I'm back. I went to the bathroom. Got a couple scoops of peanut butter for some more energy and calories. I am ready for the next game, which will likely be a lot shorter because there's Ethiopians on Akure, very likely. Are we thinking Malay for Karambits? That would be pretty crazy. Alright. Get some of the peanut butter out of my mouth. Let me just make sure I don't have to respond to a message. Thank God I went to spoilers, because cool. Cool. All right. We have game number 3 on Akure. Let's get under. Hold on. All right. If you want to throw a prediction on, Lucky, wouldn't be the worst idea. But let us begin. It'll be a short prediction if you haven't done it already. All right, gamer, have a good time. I know I'm shocked that we didn't get the complete set in. Have a good time at work, and thanks for tuning in. I will probably be watching quite a bit over this week if you cast anything or play any of your matches, because I'll be doing a Smash tournament, so I'll have this on while I'm working at the desk, and then I'll be back to hopefully cast some more. So, alrighty. We have game number 3 after 2 slobber knocker games. We have maxymczech going for the Ethiopians, sending one villager to grab the castle, and the scout to grab the other one with the range opening. His famous cav archers, shotel spam, versus the Persians. b3z also sending a villager over and the scout to grab the castles, but nothing being queued out of it immediately. So a little bit of a sloppy. Could make a few elephants to help deal with this, but he's just going to use it for pop space and rely on a regular opening, not utilize the castle. Shotels are up. No petards from Maxi this time. Maybe he made the petards on this top side, which probably happened. But the Shotels are going to come out, and you can already see the military. So scary. 21 on the way. 24, 25, 26. Did lose a villager to the scout, and the cav archers being added in. We have the Savaras being added. The Savaras probably should match up pretty well here, but the Savaras need to be held in reserve because the Shotels are coming, but they are going to get dragged back. So at least the Savaras are kind of pulling a little bit of the bite away from the Shotels. The Shotels are here. Villagers rush into the TC, but unfortunately, there's just not enough here to help protect. He needs the villagers out building production buildings. And, I mean, he has bought enough time with the Savaras running back to the base and causing some issues. Maxi down to 3 villagers. So Maxi not really making the villagers that he needs, but the Shotels come running in. There's a good number of Savaras here, and there are a lot of choke points. But is it going to be enough? Adding in Halberdiers, I don't like. Champions were what you needed here. And trying to get some castles up needs to protect against the Shotels. There's so much military here. The Citadel's doing some good shots, getting some damage onto these Shotels, but the Shotels now finding some kills. 6 kills. b3z down to 7 villagers. Needs to rush up a castle. Needs to get some more units in. The cav archers are here, and Maxi likes his cav archers. He doesn't need to focus microing down the Shotels. The cav archers can come over and snipe all of the villagers, and b3z is down to 3, and this looks like it's going to be a quick game. And now the Persian war elephants are being made. Some petards are going to open up the way. Needs a 3rd petard to clean that up. The elephants are trapped on both sides. Elephants trying to break through. The cav archers leading Savara away, but this base is fully taken over by the Shotels. Savara is desperately trying, and the elephants, too little, too late. These elephants had been here from the start. The Shotels would have been probably not anywhere near as big of a problem. b3z down to 1 villager. Maxi at 8, starting to get some production going, getting some castles, getting some market, getting the TCs placed. The Shotels doing a lot of damage, and once the elephants are out, this Shotel raid should get cleaned up pretty easily. And the cav archer is going to be able to be not be able to contest the elephants, but I mean, at this point, the cav archers just need to patrol around the base, trying to snipe the few villagers that b3z has remaining. And the villagers try to expand over here, or try to sneak over there. Savars are going to catch the cav archers, and those Savars should wipe out those cav archers pretty easily. Shodel's going forward, trying to snipe the few remaining vills, but b3z has survived, and the elephants are out. His military is there. Maxi down to 2k gold. Not having a lot of military to show for it. Mostly just Shodels. Taking out some Savars in the raids. And I mean, Maxi's struggling a little bit here for pop space. And those elephants finally coming in to the action. And those war elephants are going to be so dangerous. We need to see the siege workshops coming out. Barracks are being made by the Ethiopians. So adding in some halberdiers. But we need to see the torsion engine siege onagers. Don't understand why you have no vills. We'll double check after this, but I think he killed a few of yours and you just didn't queue up villagers for a bit. Or you queued them incorrectly somewhere. These war elephants are deadly. b3z. So the only problem b3z made is that he didn't start making TCs right away. I think he needed to spam out 2 or 3 TCs to recover from all the kills he took. b3z lost 18 eco kills. Or eco vills, right? So he needs to get that eco count going high to make all the production buildings, make all the resources to fund these war elephants. The war elephants are looking good though. Savars also going to be very tough to deal with. Savars getting some good attacks. Are the Savars against the bonus attack against all archers? Exceptionally strong versus ranged soldiers. Okay, yeah. So Savar, but they can get micro down. Maxi does like his cav archers, and that is a lot of Ethiopian cav archers. Cav archers, of course, they are solid. They're usually not the Ethiopians' main choice in unit because they don't have Parthian tactics. But enough of them are going to do well, but the war elephants are so dangerous. Now we have some rams coming forward. We have some scorpion. This is going to be very dangerous for Maxi to survive. Treb's going to get sniped out as well, and Maxi is going to be on the back foot here, trying to get a castle up on here. b3z does catch it out, but he's not attacking the palisade walls. Maxi just makes stone walls. Castle might go up. It should go up, honestly. It's at 63%. Savar's not attacking the walls. And elephants are going to get turned away a little bit. Doesn't want to risk losing too much. And now we see water being played. Will anything actually come out of it? We do have cannon galleons. I don't like the cannon galleons. You need to be adding some demos here or something. Cannon galleons are going to get just nuked immediately. So maybe some demos, maybe some hulks or something just to kind of help with this. But a cannon galleon, once you reclaim this area, is going to be fine. But yeah, the cav archer, we've seen how deadly Maxi is with a ball of cav archers. Even if he is on the back foot, he is behind. Scorpions are going to be very tough for those cav archers to deal with. And now we can see some cannon galleons now that he's kind of reclaimed the water. Castle is up, protecting the relic area. And the rams are forward on their own. What do they have in them? Just a couple of halberdiers. Those rams should not be going forward on their own. That is just a waste of units. Elephants a little bit too far behind. Cav archers are going to micro them down. Scorpions need to be sent in. Elephants need to be sent in. There's a lot in reserve. b3z not fighting with its full forces. War elephants are going to snipe the Trebs. Does lose one dock. Cannon galleons still haven't come out after those first two. And b3z just needs to fight with everything here. Needs to go forward with the rams, supported by the elephants. And the Scorpions need to be dealing with these halberdiers. There's not enough halberdiers here to really contest the war elephants, to be 100% honest. But b3z is out of gold, out of resources. Needs to get that eco going. He not starting with a bunch of TCs after losing a bunch of villagers early means that he's not going to be able to queue up a lot of villagers. Only 2 TCs on the field. Now there's a bunch more TCs, so we can start seeing a lot more villagers. Elephants coming forward, and they're going to try to engage onto these. Where are the Scorpions going? Scorpions, go forward. Elephants not really able to be contested by the Ethiopians. There's still no siege from the Ethiopians. Torsion engines, where are you at? Rams starting to take out these production buildings. Elephants going forward. b3z going to start taking out buildings left and right. And now the Savara here, more elephants. Scorpions still out of the way. We have some galleons patrolling in the middle. And b3z kind of having some pathing issues. Not letting the elephants go forward to chase the cav archers. The elephant's gonna go forward under this castle. Ram's gonna take out a lot. And I mean, this could go poorly for b3z. The war elephant's gonna do a lot of damage here if he gets some shots off on these cav archers. And the ram's taking a lot of production buildings, but he is fighting under a castle. He is not bringing in more siege. He has the rams going. mean, it should be fine. And the town bell is rung. Villagers all hop in, and I think this should be fine. The Cav Archer's going for a desperate play, but the Scorpions are here to catch them off guard. Losing all sorts of HP. They are going to be able to micro this down, but that is a lot of Cav Archers to lose when you don't have a lot of military remaining. Galleon's going to do decently here. Just taking multiple volleys. I mean, these Cav Archers aren't doing anything to protect the base. The castle will go down to these rams. Elephants continue to take down all the production buildings. b3z should have this game wrapped up pretty quickly. The Shodal Rush almost succeeded. And all the villagers, all the Cav Archers die. And b3z survives against the Shodal Rush, against all odds. Not getting the elephants out fast enough. I thought Maxi had that game in the bag. Just sniping Persians. I mean, I think you had that game won. We'll see what happened with the villager count, right? Like, that's the real question. So if we go forward, right? There's the problem. Yeah. There you go. It took you 2 minutes to start making villagers. There's your problem. First thing you gotta do in a game is queue up 15 villagers. So that's why you were solo on villagers for so long, and b3z got a few kills. Or got a kill on you. So well done from both players. The rush almost worked out. It got b3z down to 1 villager, which is crazy. But the lack of an eco follow-up, the elephants showing up just in time, means that Maxi does not take the cheese opening win. And then House Battle of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yeah. That's unfortunate. It's where with like not having, if you had a few more villagers to build up the houses and stuff, it's the danger of this open, is you really need your open to be proper. You need to be able to follow it up with enough houses. You need, like, once you max out, you need to get your villager count going. You need the good follow-up, because even if you do get this advantage, if you don't get the kill, you need to be able to press your advantage afterwards, which you unfortunately weren't able to do. But the all-in play did not work out in this case, and so now Maxi is on the back foot, in danger of losing the set, but we still have 2 games to go. We are going to Lagoon next. Could Maxi have right-clicked TC before Elephants show up? Maybe. I think he probably could have. He had a lot of military. I already clicked off the game, so I can't pull it up. I could pull it up, but we're not going to. I think he may have been able to. Yeah, the Shodal's getting... Yeah, that was the other key thing, is that those couple Savar that b3z sent forward were so crucial because they pulled like 10 to 20 Shodals in the early part away from the raid, which is a massive mistake, which is just unfortunate because pathing, if you patrol them forward or attack move forward. So we have Lagoon up next. I mean, we had the Persians win, and we had the Ethiopians lose. Probably Malay or Bengali. And then Spanish. Probably Spanish here, right? Yeah, I'd have to go Spanish, Malay. What are people thinking? I mean, I think it's only Lucky and Maxi, or Biscuits is here too. But all right, so I'm guessing Spanish and Bengali. Because the last map will be Sertao. So probably Jordans for Sertao and then Lithuanians for Sertao. I have 27 watchers, but not a lot of chatters. Spain, Malay. Hey, there's Nath. Spain, Malay. That makes sense too. Hey, what's up, GXK? You're here too. Or XXGX. I don't know what do you want me to pronounce your name as? Tough Sertao Civs for BZ? Yeah. He didn't really... I mean, all of his civs are very slow, right? He has very slow civs. Golden Knight? Okay. GK Golden Knight. I can do that. Probably just... We'll have to remember. That's you. Alright. Are you a Vegas fan by any chance? Vegas hockey fan? All right, I guess we get underway because I do want to get going to bed at some point soon. But let's get into game number 4 on Lagoon. Welcome to the game number 4 between b3z up 2-1, picking the Malay, and Maxi playing the Spanish. Looks like Nath was correct. I thought maybe the Bengalis would be the play, but it is the Malay. We're going for pure dock opening from Maxi. Going for some houses, going for docks. What did we queue up there? It's going to be Carrick play. And instead, it's going to be a couple docks or harbors in the back with demos being made. b3z making demos, not even heavy demos. Just regular demos from the Malay. Oh no. I don't think that's the right play. We do see barracks coming up for some halberdiers, which will be pretty nice against the Carricks. We have fires being mixed in with some Carricks. Will either player go for the early aggression or the early pond control in the middle? Demos seem like such a interesting choice, especially regular demos. But you live in Las Vegas, made up name in 2K2. Okay. So both players kind of slow to being aggressive here. A couple Carricks do come forward and the demos are going to land. And I mean, the demos do fine here. I mean, I guess. I don't think the demos are really where I want to be until you add some more units into them. You want the demos to be mixed in. Villager just barely survives thanks to the harbor's help. That castle should hopefully go up in the middle pond. Is going to be controlled by b3z now. No attempt from Maxi trying to get on there. And he's trying to cut off the water. There is still the way through on the south side, but he could wall this off theoretically and protect his base. Maxi knows what unit he picked Spanish for. Yeah, here comes 60 elite cannon galleons. Insane. One demo is out in the middle. Hopefully doesn't queue up too much in the middle until he sees opponents there. But he's going to make the mistake that Maxi made of committing too much to water in an area where your opponent is not taking water. Especially with the cannon galleons being able to range everything in the middle. Spanish cannon galleon is going to be so detrimental. This is where the demos kind of need to be used. But with the paladins being mixed in, some elephants are a smart play as well. Some elephants going to be able to be used to try to soak up some of this cannon fire. Maybe chase down some of these cannon galleons. The fire is going to chase them down. But that is so many elite cannon galleons. But how much can mono have cannon galleons actually work? I mean, it's probably going to be pretty well. The micro isn't there from b3z. They need to get onto the range, and they're going to start melting some of these, but there's so many cannon galleons and not a lot of fire ships. Fire ships are clumping up here. There's a lot in the middle, not a lot going on. He needs to stop the production here. He has realized that there's nothing else going on in the middle area. You see b3z spreading out, which is nice. But the cannon galleons are going to pose a problem in such a choke point. There's not even a way around. This is a horrible map generation for this specific scenario. Adding the meat shield is huge. The paladins and the hussars just to soak up all the fire. And like, it allows the cannon galleons just to do what they do best, right? You don't even need paladins. You don't need a hussar. Like, it's just... yeah, the cannon galleons are just going to march forward, and so long as all your ships don't range them, there's not going to be any problem you have. Elephant's going to engage you. Like, if the elephants run past, they have a chance. But the cannon galleons are going to prevent that from happening. And they just melt those elephants so quickly. I mean, the elephants look like they do pretty well. Malay elephants aren't always the best, but against cannon galleons, they have enough HP to survive quite a bit. Problem is going to be, can enough army from b3z clump up to actually engage this cannon galleon mass? But the cannon galleons are forward, taking out houses, taking out production buildings, taking out a castle. Units are in the middle and not really benefiting anything. We do have some fishing, which I'd like to see him take in the fish. And this area has just been so well protected. But there's not going to be any ability for Maxi to get pressured on the side. So b3z needs to contest this. Is clumping up a lot of his units here for maybe an attempt. But there's so many elite cannon galleons and the paladins in front. Maxi taking notes from the Huggy games. This is looking really good. Fire gal. Oh no, Maxi looked away and the fires are onto the cannon galleons. Halberdier is trying to deal with the paladins. And those cannon galleons are going to lose a lot of them. They are microing down with some stutter stepping. And they do take out a lot of cannon galleons, but they do survive for the most part. There's still 58 cannon galleons on the field, a lot more safe at home. You have some going on the side, the elite cannon galleons running forward into some harbors, which is a bit of a mistake. and going to lose a few of them, but they're going to fall back and should be fine. That demo would have been so nice to hit these candy galleons. But now on the two fronts, the Hussar is still over here soaking up all the fire, and unfortunately, BZ not thinking to send the fire ships through to hit the candy galleons. Those handful of Hussars and Paladins just proving their worth just by soaking up the fire and allowing the candy galleons to do what they do best. We do have the fires coming over here, and they're going to take out some of these candy galleons. Did lose a few harbors over here that'll open up the side quite a bit. That last candy galleon does go down. All the candy galleons are on this right side, but that is so many candy galleons. 49. No more food for Maxi. Running low on gold. A lot of fish, but BZ's eco isn't looking great. And BZ hasn't been spending his food on much. He made some camels. What do the Malay spend their food on? Even just light cav here to soak up some of the fire from the cannons would be huge. But there's so many Hussars now. Maxi going in for the kill. Is pop capped at 150. But that should be more than enough with BZ only having 20 military. And these candy galleons just taking out all these production buildings. The wood is going to be an issue at a certain point, because all the production buildings need to be remade. All the houses. Pop space dwindling. And the Hussars coming forward. Going to die to all these harbors, but the candy galleons spreading out and taking out everything. And BZ should probably tap out here, and it's going to be a quick game 4 with the power of the Spanish galleons, candy galleons, showing their face with 60 of them being made, over 80 probably being made. And yeah, there's just too many candy galleons, and BZ is going to tap out. Candy galleons slowly but surely wiping everything along the side. Full land and arm, full water player and DM for some reason. It's crazy. BZ taps out, and that is a nice and quick game 4. 70 candy galleons made. Yeah, if BZ had just clumped up his ships and ignored some of the cav units, I think it would have been a lot better of some engagements. And if he had been able to wipe out a lot of the candy galleons in a big go or two, it would be tough for Maxi to come back from that. I think BZ had some really solid map control with the middle pond and fish going and everything, spreading out and everything, but the candy galleons are just too much for the Malay to deal with. We have a game 5. At least games 3 and 4 were relatively short, all things considering, so we probably won't finish before midnight. Where are we? We got Sertao last. I mean, with Sertao being the rush map, it is entirely possible that we have a quick match here. All right, we have another game 5. TDM is not allowed to have sets without game 5s, apparently. Or decider game 5s. Every set has a game 5, right? Spanish got the win. Malay got the loss. Bengalis with Lithuanians on Sertao. And it's going to be Georgia. You never do Burgundians here. There's, like, I don't even know what Burgundians do. Coustier, gunpowder. No. Unless you want a Flemish Revolution, it's gonna be Georgians. Flemish Militia Rush, that'd be crazy. 5 times 2-hour long games. Make Lucky cast that one, or at least don't have me cast one before. If this was the only game I was casting, it'd be better. But the fact that I did Legend versus Jam before this, and then this, and I was like, oh, it'll be a quick one, I'm sure. Oh. George doesn't stop here, but Max will go Cav Archers instead of SO and make it a close game. True. I mean, it's going to be Bengalis, right? I feel like Bengalis are the one you picked. It was your first pick after your 2 blind picks. Lithuanians, random, so you probably don't really care too much about them. It's got to be Bengalis. Especially with Maxi not really going Siege. Elephant Archer should be pretty solid there, right? So. Alright. Lucky get one more prediction going. One final prediction. Who wins the set? Who wins game 5? We'll give a little bit of time. Or I guess I don't know if you want to do it. I can probably do it too. There's the prediction. Hopefully it's a short prediction. Don't take your job? That's fair. Hey, you just got this job. In this economy, you just got this job in this economy. So. Alright. Make your predictions now. Is it going to be maxymczech winning on a game 5? Or is it going to be b3z winning with the arguably worst civ in the Bengalis against the Georgians? I have to assume that's the matchup. What are people feeling? We have 400 points for, I believe, b3z. Anybody else want to place a bet? 10,000 for Maxi. That is quite a lot of mint leaves. Our lunatic is here to make the gamble bets, putting 10K on Maxi, the hot dog Cav Archer master. I'll give it a little bit longer and then we'll go into the game. But it is time. The deciding game. Game number 5 in this Division 9 set. Welcome to Sertao. It is a deciding set. We have b3z playing the Bengalis in the pink and the blue Georgians being played by Maxi. Going into a barracks, into ranges, not into stables, not into siege. Just a single barracks for some spears. And the Cav Archer play Lucky. Knows his boy Maxi, knows what to expect. We have the stable being made, but nothing being made out of it. b3z, maybe exhaustion has hit him, but nothing being queued up for b3z. No, finally the elephant's being queued up. Trying to focus on getting a kill with the scout, but that's going to send him so far behind. And also, like, finally gets a villager trying to get a clump going. The elephant's going to be able to go forward. And it's going to give Maxi the time to get his Cav Archers going. The elephants are going to be so slow at dealing with these Cav Archers. Castle needs to be rushed up, but only one villager building it. He is walled in, and those Cav Archers are going to come forward and just destroy. 35 being queued up. This is going to pay off for Maxi. Can you end the prediction, Lucky? I think it is at halftime. We're good with the prediction. I don't know if it's going to be over very quickly, but it might be. We can't have people predict too late. Cav Archer's going to get some snipes here, going to get some kills. Elephant's going to chase them away, but they're so slow. The castle needs to go up to be able to protect against this. And I mean, the Cav Archers are a little bit late getting there, so b3z gets a chance to build some more production buildings, get some elephants going. Prediction cannot be ended early. Gotcha. Okay, well, oh well. I mean, now the villagers are going to start falling for b3z. Maxi surrounding. I mean, oh no, the Cav Archers aren't noticing this villager. The castle might go up, but only one villager building it. Does it get there in time? They're going to snipe that one villager. Does he notice? He does. The villager stops building, and the castle gets doubted at 98%. 7 villagers remain. Needs to send another villager to go finish it up. Has villagers in the TC that need to go to work. Is sending a villager back, and it does go up. But this has been a massive advantage for b3z with the eco kills. Getting 6 kills right there. And now the Cav Archers continue to come forward. And Castle going forward is risky, but the Elephant Archers are here to deal with this. Elephant's also going to be able to chase down some of these Cav Archers. b3z down to 8 villagers, but has the Elephant Mass. And I mean, Maxi queuing up all sorts of halberdiers to try to deal with this. Needs to get some Manaspa, needs to get some siege into this gameplay, and he'll have a chance. But the halberdier is going to do really good against low number of elephants. The elephants out of position. We've seen in the first game with the Elephant Archers never really clumped. Well, they clumped up, but they didn't have the meat shield to protect them. And so the massive number of army from maxymczech, and the elephants are all in the back. They're all out of position. There's so much military here that is needed by b3z to help with this. But I mean, the elephants are going to be able to contest this pretty well and get going. The castle does get delayed. The elephants going forward. And now the Manaspa are out. Will we see siege from maxymczech? Castle does go up. Castle still delayed. More villagers coming forward. Elephants in weird positions. Halberdiers trying to contest it a little bit. Battle elephants staying in the back line. b3z not taking the most optimal fight here, but I think this castle should go up and should protect the hill pretty well. Cav Archers are going around to try to deny this castle. They might get there just in time. He might snipe this Treb instead. Gets there, denies, kills some villagers, but the castle has gone up. And the elephants are just in the wrong side of the fight, and they can't make it past the Elephant Archers. Trebs are out for Maxi, and now the aggression can start. The Elephants can start rolling forward. And once the Elephants come to the front of the fight, it's going to be so hard for the Cav Archers to deal with this massive amount of HP. Onagers from the Bengalis, not the Georgians. Going to land some shots onto these Trebs, take them out, and these Elephant Archers are going to be so problematic. The Elephants causing some problems too. Maxi is on the back foot, rapidly losing military. Trebs are out as well. b3z having an amazing army composition early. Needs to make sure to repopulate his elephants. Is running, doesn't have the eco, only one on wood. I mean, they're all building other stuff. But b3z needs to get his eco rolling, needs to reinforce with elephants, needs to make sure his siege doesn't get sniped, takes out the castle. The elephant archers are going to be tough to push into. A lot of Trebs are here for b3z. b3z has so much he can be making. Hussars even, right? Like, Bengalis get light cav, even light cav mixing into light cav. But the Trebs are going too far forward. The Trebs are going to be attacked by the Cav Archers. The Cav Archers are going to be taken out by the Elephant Archers. The Onagers doing some nice shots, taking out these Trebs. b3z going for a very aggressive castle. I mean, this is going well. The Onager shots have landed some really good shots on the Cav Archers. That micro not there. We actually have some raids in the back with the Elephant Archers killing villagers. Maxi losing villagers. b3z has more villagers now. He has the military in the front. And this looks detrimental for Maxi. Looks like b3z might bring it home. The lack of siege from maxymczech is going to prove to be his downfall. All of his Cav Archers are deleted. And Maxi is forced to tap out. The Cav Archer play not paying off in the Game 5. And b3z takes one of the hardest fought sets in the series I've seen so far. What an incredible set from these two players, playing their hearts out, playing what they do best in their each own respective ways to a fault. And they played fantastically, and that was such an amazing set to watch. First two games being massively long wood games, very interesting to watch. Some rush games in the future, and just what a fantastic set from both players. And yeah, Maxi had some chances there, but a little bit misplaced with some military. The Cav Archer play not exactly paying off as much as he needed it to be, and the Elephants just slowly but surely storming forward and providing enough meat that there was nothing the Cav Archers of maxymczech could do. So please, Maxi, for the love of me and Lucky, add siege workshops, add onagers, please. The Georgians have such good siege. They have siege onagers. I mean, it's not great siege. It's fantastic siege. It's not outstanding siege, right? Oh, and the higher ground would have been better. All your sets so far with 2-3, no spoilers. But yeah, it is, everyone seems to be like, I'm shocked with how the seeding went, with how many new players we had, how many 2-3 sets we are having across all the games. It is insane that it seems like every casted set is 2-3. Like, there's a few 4-1s and 5-0s here and there, but there's so many 2-3s. I don't think this was as common as it was last year. It's a testament to, I think, like, just everyone is taking this very seriously and trying very hard. So all our cast is not a spoiler. That's fair. Halb's counter Cav is a busted myth.